absolute notions.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Ivana Milicevic, your favorite teenage woman in her 50s. And I have a titan of industry with us today on the show. One stud muffin named Norman Crowley, who has, now I'm saying it wrong. Patty said it's Crowley. It's Crowley, like Crowley. The Americans would say. Mm-hmm. Norman Crowley, welcome to Notions. You are so kind to come here.
Am I the first guy?
You are the third guy.
Okay, cool.
But the first titan of industry. Okay. And you are very welcome here. Can I just run down your credits, please?
Yeah.
Okay. So you started off much like our beloved Wesley from A Princess Bride, a farm boy,
yes,
if you wish. And you had a welding business with your father, which you sold when you were 20.
Yeah.
At the same time, you were dabbling in programming in your, teenage bedroom. I'm thinking on a Commodore 64 or something like that, right? High-tech stuff. Then you somehow in there got into, bought a gaming company because you created digital gambling machines. Somehow you accidentally also maybe a little bit had a hand in creating the cloud. In there also you accidentally maybe a little bit created e-commerce or had a hand in it, which the women of the world who be online shopping, thank you. You then were going to sell your gaming company for a cool bill. That didn't happen because the whole world imploded as well as the company that was going to sell it. You were feeling really butthurt about that, feeling really sad at the same time while you were being very unhealthy. You had a health scare and you were like, F that noise. I'm about to chickadee check myself before I rickety wreck myself.
Yeah.
Yes. And then you got it together, had a fancy life, building up the gaming company again. Then you sold it for a cool half bill as you were starting to change a little bit because you started to get into health and wellness and maybe looking at your psychology, your psychological health and maybe some spiritual stuff, some meditating. And then you were like, you know what? Now that I've sold this company, I'm going to do something that's more meaningful, which is when you started Cool Planet, which decarbonizes industrial machines.
Yes.
Will you be decarbonizing fashion?
No, we don't do fashion.
Okay, maybe soon. Maybe your company will soon.
Yeah.
And then also Ava, which is the sexiest thing ever. And one day it is on my wish list from Santa Claus, unless this podcast brings me major success, to get an old car that you electrify, which is Ava. Mm-hmm. And now the latest thing is Unlimited, which is where you've leaned super duper heavy into whole health, wellness, spirituality, psychology, mental health, body health.
Yeah.
What do you have to say for yourself?
Well, that sounds like a lot.
You've done really well.
Yeah, some days I think that, and other days I think I'm just an idiot who's struggling. So, yeah.
Do you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So tell me, how did we get to, because I was listening to all of I either listened to or read the transcripts of your podcasts before. And I think the earliest one I saw might have been 2020. And it's interesting your progression because from 5 years ago, you were talking more, you were talking about like working 7 days a week. You mentioned stress a lot. You mentioned how whatever's driving you might not be all that healthy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
So people look in from the outside and they see this kind of confident entrepreneur and then there is a cliche, I guess, or the Indians would call it a mudra. It's a way of being, right? And so the story around entrepreneurs is start off young, never went to college, hard charging, successful. And underneath all that, so after a while, you start to wonder what's underneath all that. So why, like my wife says, I'm a chain smoker when it comes to businesses. So why are you constantly doing all this and what's chasing you? And I've started to look at that long and hard, and we're kind of starting at the end now. But in the last couple of months, I've finally found why do entrepreneurs, especially serial entrepreneurs, why do you do this? Why can you not leave it alone, right?
Yes. Do you have the answer?
I do have the answer, and it's not glamorous. I used to joke with journalists um, that entrepreneurs run on raw hate, right? Because you're constantly trying to prove to somebody. So something happened in your life. Um, it was not pleasant, and then you made a decision. And in the case of entrepreneurs, the decision is, I'm going to fucking show you. Yeah. Are you allowed curse on this
Oh,
podcast?
yes, we encourage it.
Cool. So you decide, I'm going to show, somebody said something to you, or somebody said a lot of things to you, and you decided, I'm going to show you. And when you make that decision, then you lock into that. And then it's like a tiger is chasing you all your life. And it doesn't matter whether the person who said that is gone or you've proven it 50 different ways, that tiger is still chasing you. And it's not, what will happen you over time is it will wreck your health. It might wreck your relationships. It's a dangerous game.
That's so funny you lead with that, because one of my first questions is, why do really, really successful, very wealthy people continue to work so
Yeah.
hard?
Yeah.
So hard.
Yeah, yeah. And they have like I
When
hang
they don't
around,
have to.
yeah, I hang around with a lot of entrepreneurs, and they have a stare, like they're staring and they're looking at, is that the next business I'm going to do? Is that the next way I'm going to show that person that I deserve their love? Yeah.
I think that can be similar for a lot of people in acting as well, in the movie business
Yeah.
as well.
Driven people. Yeah.
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 But I don't
But
know.
what's driving you? So,
Yeah.
and it's never a positive emotion. It's never sweetness and light and the pixie fairies said it. And now if you're driven, something is chasing you. And it's not real, but you
Right.
believe it to be real. Yeah.
Yes. I don't think I'm that driven. No, this is, but
Yeah,
this,
yeah, yeah.
I think I would have been more successful if I was more driven, or if I needed more love
Okay.
from the thing, but I had all the love.
Hang on now. So I think I'd be more successful than all the stuff you've done.
Yeah, but I think I have so many friends that are even more successful, and
Okay.
they are much more driven. And I do
Yeah.
think a lot of them are chasing love, respect, or power.
Yeah.
And I feel powerful, loved, and respected. So like
Yeah.
I'm content a lot of the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Were you always like that though?
I think I was.
Were you?
I might have been a little more driven, but not that much. I mean, I'm pretty driven on this show, but I want to say that it's from something higher. I'd like to think so.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
you
and
should have a podcast, by the way.
but also, or maybe something, because you had a lot of shows.
I did.
And then you took a little step back from that.
At a perfect time, though, like blessed time.
So was there a point there? Is this your podcast or what?
Yeah.
Was there a point there where you made the decision to do that and leave it alone just a little bit?
No, but I think during my career when I was working a lot, when I look back at some friends, whether it was in modeling days or acting days, they were precise in the way they built their careers.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, I'm only going to work with these photographers during the modeling days. And I'm only going to work with they had a plan, like a trajectory. And I was like, what? It shoots in Hawaii? Yes, let's do it. Oh, wait, I'm going to. So I was just doing these experiences. To some degree, you take whatever you can.
Yeah. I
know,
think largely.
but a lot of it is like, I could have been like, no, I'm going to sit back because I want to do this. I was just like very in the moment.
Yeah.
But I'm a pretty happy actor compared to a lot of my friends. So I don't regret it.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't really regret it either, but now that I understand, and it's taken a lot of deep work to find out the tiger that's chasing you.
Are you in charge of the tiger yet? Have you tamed it?
I am, yeah. No.
See, this is why you're interesting to me. This is why I have a Titan on the show, and it's not about like makeup and fashion.
Yeah.
Because
We can talk about makeup if you want.
I mean, listen, we can talk about it. I will talk about anything with you. The hardest part about planning this podcast was how do I slim it down?
Yeah.
Because we have many dinners, we have double dates, and we enjoy our conversations. You're interesting to me because you haven't blown up your family. You're really successful. You've even been chased and chased the tiger or whatever it is, and you didn't blow up your family. You have a gorgeous, beautiful wife. You guys are best friends. That's clear. You love each other. Your daughters, amazing. And mostly I find in my experience is people find meditation and spiritual things and go to therapy after their third wife hates them.
Yeah.
Their
That's because
children
you hang
hate them.
around in LA.
And maybe that is true, by the way, but it is a
Mm.
lot. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
impressed with you that you
Mm.
found this stuff at a time where I'm imagining. I don't know. You haven't told me this, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm imagining that there might have been difficult times in your marriage because you worked so hard.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where that
Yeah.
could have been shaky, and you.
Mm.
I'm only assuming.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and you managed to keep it all together. That's why you're interesting to me because everybody who does all their work, puts all the only basket they worry about is success and wealth and
Yeah.
they forgo everything else. I'm not that impressed with that success.
No, that's not success.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yay,
Yeah.
you're okay.
Yeah.
So
Well done. You
why
have a
were you so
jet, but
smart?
you're completely burnt out and alone is not a win, basically.
Why were you
Yeah.
so genius to do that when you did?
I guess part of it is I started off doing work on myself when I was relatively young, about and that kind of happened by accident. When I was, and you might know this about me, when I was 21, my brother dragged me to a firewalking seminar.
I know it from my research.
Yeah.
Go on.
So, and you get, when you walk on hot coals, you have to face a fear basically that you have, because when you think about walking on hot coals, you're about to step on something that could burn you alive, right? And so you have to look internally. And that was the first time that I was like, oh, there is all these thoughts that are going on in my head may not be the truth, and there may be something underneath that. And maybe I'd like to get in touch with what's underneath. And all that chattering about you're not good enough and all the other thoughts we have all the time, body image stuff, people who watch the show, like I would imagine everybody has that. So
Yeah.
it was the first time I saw that separation between, oh, there is me, and then there are all these thoughts that are going on in my head. And then
Interesting.
in my early 20s, I did a lot of courses on, which is unusual, I guess.
Were you
to
still
do it
living
that-
like on the farm at this time, or were you already a city
When
boy?
I did the firewalking, I was living on the farm, and then I think there was a catalyst there to move away from that. And then I met my wife walking on hot coals.
I didn't know that. That is a hot
Okay,
story.
yeah,
Your
yeah.
beautiful wife.
So
Anne.
she walked in to a seminar that I was helping on, and the minute I saw her, I just turned to the guy next to me and said,
That's my wife.
"That's my wife." Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
I love that. And then how long did it take you to convince her that she
It
was your wife?
took a while. It wasn't instant. She has taste, and I was not I was not that attractive a proposition. I was completely broke and didn't dress that well, and so yeah, it took a little while. But when we got together, we were engaged within 3 months. So we were. So
That's
once we figured it out, Yeah.
Is she a farm girl too?
She's not, but she's from the country. She's what we in Ireland call a culshie.
A culshie.
A culshie is somebody who lives in or is from the country. Yeah.
I
Outside
love
of
that.
Dublin.
Outside of Dublin,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
I love it. And you work with Anne. Anne is
Yeah.
my hero, because she also has the superpowers that I do not have.
What are they?
Numbers and like doing that hard stuff
Yeah.
that I'm not interested in.
Yeah.
And like she keeps it tight. Patty's like that for me, my husband.
Yeah. You need somebody, I think, to keep, and it's not that part of the relationship can be quite fractious, because if you're the type of person who likes numbers a lot, you struggle with risk
I was
and
just
taking
gonna say,
risk.
yeah.
And you struggle with trust and trusting that things might be okay. But at the same time, that yin and yang works incredibly
It's
well.
perfect.
Yeah.
So under what circumstances do you recommend working with your spouse?
Desperation when you have to. Or yeah, like, look, you have to, if you have the journey that we're on at the scale that we operate, you have to work with your spouse, because
Otherwise, you won't see them.
well, not only that, but there's a lot going on all the time. Like, we have this thing, when you make a couple of bucks, you have this thing called a family office, which means like the money is in the family. And if there's a lot of it, and
Mm-hmm.
it depends on your version, it's like you in acting. Are you successful or you're not? I know lots of people with much, much more money than us,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to work together then because there's money and it's moving around and there's risk and all that. And then that's one of the biggest challenges is entrepreneurs have a dangerous attitude to risk. So
Yes.
we don't see risk, right? We
Right.
see risk, but we don't see it at the same way other people see it.
Mm.
And therefore you have to talk about it a lot. And the thing about Anne and I is we do the work together. So if like we spent all of January this year in India together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell
And
me.
so if you're lucky enough that your spouse is willing to do the work and you're willing to do it together, then it doesn't make it easy, but it gives you a map that you can talk to each other about
Are you
something.
now talking about the work when we're talking about inner work
Yeah,
or the
inner
work, the
work.
business? Okay, so the
Yeah.
inner work, that is a blessing
Mm.
that is like no other if two people I think are willing to walk that walk together.
Yeah.
Because I keep saying, Patty and I talk about as well, given how scary and volatile and close to war it seems if you
Mm.
look at certain social media pages or whatever. It
Yeah.
all seems so scary. And
Mm.
also, we really don't know with what's going to happen with tariffs and all these things that I don't
Mhm.
even understand, but it seems scary,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And maybe it's always like that. It seems particularly volatile
Yeah.
from my
Well,
vibes.
I think we're moving off the other thing and let's go back to it. But
Mhm.
the world is scary if you choose to tune into the scariness of the world.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I completely
Yeah.
agree.
And because there's so much scariness in social media and now more than ever, if you wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is look at your phone, then you will feel fear all day,
All
right?
day.
And maybe that wasn't the case before because you would listen to the news in the morning and you'd feel a little bit of fear, and then you could go to work, right? And maybe you're not as fearful. But now we have the fear box in our pocket all
At
the
all
time.
times, every time you
Mm,
have a moment.
mm,
Well, to that point, I was
mhm,
saying that you have somebody that's aligned with you
mm,
to do the inner work and to
mm.
connect to something bigger. I keep saying to everyone, the our biggest thing we need to worry about right now is make sure that we are connected to God, source, higher power,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it,
Mhm.
because then you are not going to be in fear.
Yeah.
My teacher George used to say, like, this is all Maya. Let Maya. Do you know what Maya
Yeah. Yeah.
means?
I
Like,
do.
it's all
Yeah.
illusion. So
Yeah.
let
Yeah.
Maya do its dance.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I find that really helpful because every time we're like,
Mm.
gosh, what is going to happen? Like
Yeah.
we connect.
Yeah. But do you find that when you talk about connecting to God, the divine, or whatever, that you lose people in a discussion?
I do often hear I'm getting better at it, but the more people know me, not everyone doesn't know me, they do see it working in my life. The
Yeah.
things that I'm preaching is
Mm.
not just like a talk at this point at
Yeah.
51 and a half years old.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I I do, but I also find different ways to talk to people. Like if
Mm.
somebody's a full-blown atheist, I'm not like, Jesus will save you. I know I'm
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
lead with that, but
Mm.
I will say, like, it's like that feeling when you're playing a sport and you're
Yeah.
in the zone. Like the
Yeah.
zone is where we want to be all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think God or that power
Yeah.
gives a crap what you call
No.
it,
No.
or
No. It
or if
really
you think
doesn't.
it exists even.
Yeah.
It's just like get on this frequency.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's all,
Yeah.
it's there for you.
Yeah. Because part of the job of getting people to do this work is to try to avoid the S word or the G word, spirituality
Spirituality.
or God.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because a lot of people, particularly in Ireland, but in a lot of places, have been burnt by God.
Burnt.
And there's a deep history here of the church and the church's influence, etc., etc. So what we spend a lot of our time doing, and we have an organization with a couple of hundred people, how do you talk to people about doing deeper work on themselves without mentioning the G word in any way, shape, or form? So
Right.
can you science into it, and can you show people in a different way and then get them to move in that way? Yeah.
What are some of your tips for that? Because I also saw that you have like 70, you when you introduced this in your companies, you
Mm.
had like 70 different versions. They're like, listen, we're not saying you have to be
Yeah.
God, but find find a way in.
find a
So
way.
what do you, how do you present it that way?
You present it because we're an engineering company and a tech company.
Exactly. It's like,
Yeah, we do it with science, really.
okay.
And there's quite a lot of science around everything. There's even
Yes.
quite a lot of science around, maybe you wouldn't call it God, but there's quite a lot of, like the Nobel Peace Prize last year, one of them, or not the Peace Prize, but the Science
One of
Prize
the, yeah.
was one around quantum. And like what they proved is that reality is subjective, right? They proved that last year with science.
Yep.
And so this cup, Patty's cup, this is real because we choose it to be
Yep.
real, right? And that was one of the things that's been proven. And people may not like that. They may say, well, that's bullshit, and I don't fully believe that. But then you're kind of saying science isn't really your bag either. And if God isn't your bag and science isn't your bag, then what the fuck is your bag?
Well, because they're not nihilists yet either. So
No,
they are.
no.
They we do.
And
I
you
see
know
what you
what?
mean. You just have to find it.
We can work with nihilists too, actually. And there's a way of talking. There's a way of talking to everybody. If you're in a crisis or you need help, then we can talk to you on whatever level you're talking. The deal we do with people is we say, tell me your most exalted dream, right? Even the one that you've forgotten, and we'll help you walk towards that.
In your company.
In our company and in Unlimited, which is we've spun out the madness now into this thing called Unlimited. And
it's beautiful. I've gotten to walk the grounds of Unlimited. Thank you for showing me. Tell me how that, what's your dream there? What is your most exalted dream
around Unlimited?
Around Unlimited, yes.
So what we've been doing for a long time in Cool Planet, in Unlimited, in other things we do, is we look at a problem that's there in the world, and then we use our skills, business skills, to resolve that problem. So in Cool Planet, we work with what's the problem with global warming? The problem is we're emitting too much carbon into the world. Who are the people who emit the most carbon? Big factories. So our biggest client emits more carbon than Holland. Okay. So we work with them to stop doing that, right? And loads of other clients. So that's what Cool Planet does. So what's another big problem in the world? We were just talking about it. We wake up in the morning and we're riddled with fear, right?
Yes.
And why does that happen? So, and we're kind of practical, right? So it happens because we're addicted to our phones, we're dopamine addicted, but also the food we eat has become crap, right?
Yes.
And so now we don't even have the fuel to process what's going on in our lives, right? Yeah. And it's just overly processed. Even things we think are healthy are completely overly processed. And then it's fine to say, I'm going to sit in my Zen mode and I'm only going to eat organic veg. But guess what? If you actually have a life with children and a job,
no, you're not.
You're not doing that, right? No. And like, we have one teacher that we work with in London, and I had a big row with him recently because he said, Norm, it's very easy. Like, you get up in the morning and you meditate, and then you do some healing for a couple of hours, and then you just go to bed early. And I'm like,
is he loving his life on top of the mountain by himself?
Well, it's like that,
yeah,
right? And it's good for him because he's got a great practice and people come to him. But guess what? Like, when you have the number of people we have and children and jobs and everything else, that's not happening. So what do you do? How do you resolve it then for real people in their real life? And then sprinkle other stuff on top of that. If you're anxious, if you're depressed, if you're menopausal, if you have real fucking problems, if you have a job.
Traumas that are unresolved.
Massive traumas, like your parents did whatever to you or whatever it might be, then how do you resolve that? And so what we did was we started building Unlimited. Unlimited is based in Powerscourt in Wicklow. And what we've done there is got some of the world's top practitioners together. And this is everything from people who figured out how to get Red Bull athletes to do elite performance, people who've trained the biggest CEOs in the world and resolved their traumas, people who can do the best food in the world, like your husband.
Not butter.
And also then in the real world resolving those. And so what we've done there is we've broken it up into three things. Unlimited performance is basically what's going on in your body. Like we have physios, we have the best Pilates instructors and elite performance sports instructors. We have professional athletes on staff who do training. So that's unlimited performance. And that's for everything from somebody like me who's overweight all the way through to skinny people. And then we have unlimited farms, which is the best food, whether it's Paddy's food or a bunch of others. And we're in the process of building.
And you have Happy Pear there.
We have
right,
Happy
coming
Pear
up?
there. We
They're
have a
also great.
bunch of others. We had another one yesterday that's starting to work with us. And then we're starting to work on farms as well, on building regenerative farms.
In Ireland?
In
I
Ireland,
love
yeah.
regenerative
Yeah,
farms.
and
yes.
it's not easy to do that.
No.
And we're only in the process of doing it. And then the final thing we're doing, which is right up your street, is what's called Unlimited Quantum. And Unlimited Quantum is healing trauma. Even people who don't want to be healed, like, is because they're in crisis or whatever it might be. And that one is, we don't go, poor you, you're in crisis, whatever it might be. We go from a different angle, which is, remember when you were a kid, you had dreams, right? At some point you had dreams, right? And what were those dreams, right? And helping somebody, first of all, remember those dreams, because what's really sad, even in your 20s, even I was talking to a 23-year-old recently who's a pro athlete, and they had forgotten and given up on all their dreams at 23 years old. Right?
Oh, that's
It's heartbreaking, right?
It is. Okay.
And then never mind somebody who's 50 and they're in a job or they've been kicked out of a job or whatever it might be. And getting those people to first of all remember the dream, right? What is that? What is that spark that you had? And then, okay, why did you give it up? And then what are the implications of that in your life? Your health is suffering or whatever it might be. And funnily enough, because we experiment with our own staff, and quite a lot of them want it, but quite a lot of them don't want to touch this, right?
Yeah, they're scared.
They're
I find that in
scared.
Ireland.
They don't even want to admit they're scared. Like,
They're just like, that's not for me.
it's not for me, and this is weird, and all that voodoo shit
Yeah.
you guys do. Don't talk to me about that. I'm a serious operator.
Right.
You know, and I'm the one who didn't grow up with any trauma, right?
Congratulations.
Well done, right?
Yeah.
And then so trying to get people like that to see what's in it for them, basically. And that's not an easy walk for us and for them.
You're a smuggler.
We are, as a friend of mine said, we're a Jesus smuggler.
I know. I like it.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that. I first heard that phrase from you, and I was like, I think I'm that too.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. I mean, we know what it means. That is beautiful work. And one of the things I also love about you as a leader in your company is how much people's whole body health is important. Do you watch that show, Gilded Age?
Yes, I watched
Okay.
one episode. I thought it was only okay.
You know what? It takes a few, but there's, it's like the titans of industry, literally in 1800s New York, and whoever I think he's playing either Rockefeller or Vanderbilt type character, and this is when the unions were starting to form, and they're complaining. They're like, these men want to be treated like they're in a nursery, and it's like. What you're doing, where you're like, or Alcoa, when they were like, "Oh, our main thing is going to be safety," and everyone's like, "What safety?" It's like, yes, safety, because that energy makes everything else work. That you care about how somebody's family is doing, if their kid is sick, if they're going through something, you're like, "This is my A+ guy. What is happening?" It is so genius, and I think bodes very well for the future if more people do it. Patty's obsessed with you because you've got your Wendy's. Wendy's are, if you've ever watched Billions,
We love Billions.
yeah. Wendy is a shrink, but for the men who are afraid, it's a performance coach. But really, it's somebody that like deals with everything. And I'm dying for, as Patty's business grows, because he's also trying to do pretty good in the world. It's one of your pillars, actually. To keep everyone on track by helping them with things like a shrink, a performance coach, to deal with it.
But the funny thing about that, so in our place, the teams, they have access to 10 different training modalities,
This is your Cool
This is
Planet
Cool
company?
Planet.
Yeah, okay.
So they can access Pilates, physios, you name it, right?
I might want to work for you.
Well,
Actually,
the funny thing
I
though
don't know
that
how to do any of
happens,
that.
that's happened in there, because we've been offering that for a while, is people mistake our commitment and love of them with they don't have to work, right? So some people who don't work with us anymore, they look at it and they go, oh, well, if this is a gym and I'm looked after in all these various ways and I have coaches and all that, then I just won't bother, right? And so there's tough love involved in this
Why
as
would they
well.
not bother? What do you mean? Then they don't show up for work
They don't
because they're
show up for
busy
work.
making muscles?
Well, not even like they just don't show up for work. They're going, hey, if these guys love me so much, I don't have to show up. Yeah.
Are these millennials?
No, people think it's millennials. It's
Well,
actually
I'm not even dissing them. I'm like, but what
no,
is it?
it's like 50-year-olds, it's 20-year-olds. It's
Everybody.
our agreement with our staff is you do the work on yourself and then you will perform in the business way better. And what a lot of people misunderstand with that is they think like that we're then creating these caffeinated workaholics. That's an easy assumption, but that's not it. Our people finish work on time. If they have to work late, it's an unusual thing.
Right. They're going home to their families.
Yeah, they're going home to their families. We look after their families. They're doing deep work on themselves, because now in a world of AI, right, we don't need people anymore to be little drones typing. Like we need people to go deep, have a real connection with our clients, to think ahead on what's going to happen next. And so we're creating those types of people.
More human.
More human.
Yeah.
But the deal is, if you're not interested in that, work somewhere else.
They're
right?
not going to, you're not going to vibrate. They're going to, it's going to repel.
Yeah. But it's funny because, like, if you even go around Dublin or any city, you see Salesforce and all these fancy companies with all their fancy gyms. That's not code for we want you to kind of DOS all day and not engage. The deal is we put the best stuff in front of you, but the deal is you engage. It's a partnership between us and you.
Right.
And sadly, we've had to let people go even this year. We've left people go on performance issues because the deal is it's a two-way street.
The deal is the deal. Do they ever come back because they realize, would you ever take them back? And two, do they come back and go, oh, like a failed relationship, I was wrong, I miss you.
People come back all the time.
Okay.
But people come back for different reasons. Is that headhunters steal our people all the time, and then they go to that new organization and then they go, oh, there's something missing here.
Absolutely.
And then they come back and we welcome them back. Even when they're leaving, we say, we'll see you soon. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Yeah. And that's and that's like another place where you've got your tiger and ego in check, because I imagine even 20 years ago, certainly in the 1900s, people would be like, you've left me, then no, because that means then. It's like, it doesn't mean anything. People are growing, the people that are meant to be with you in whatever field are going to be with you, whether it's your relationship, co-workers, teams, whatever.
Absolutely. But also when you're building businesses, and a lot of people don't understand that because they look in from the outside and they see the wealth and then they go, well, screw that guy or girl. They must be really tough and they must be this and they must be that. Like as a famous entrepreneur once said, building a business, whether it's this podcast or what we do, it's like looking over the abyss while chewing glass, right? This is not.
No.
This is work, and
it's
you're working on yourself. You're realizing your failings. You're grinding it out, and yes, there's quite a lot of joy, but it's a grind.
It is a grind. I'm finding that with this, I enjoy it so much, but at every level, I realize what I'm terrible at still, and what to get better at, and it's hard.
It's hard. But you have to find...
But it's more great. It's more great than hard.
Exactly. Well, the job is understand that it's a grind, but find the joy in, and this sounds like spiritual woo-woo shit, is find the joy in everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
So if you get up in the morning and you meditate, find the joy in that. If you don't like meditating...
Find the joy in that.
Yeah, exactly. And figure out some other shit that you like. But life is about finding those moments of joy. And what we're doing is for people is moving the barriers that are stopping you from joy. Yeah.
And I'm sure there's the people that don't resonate. And then does it give you joy to see when maybe somebody that you wouldn't think would resonate with this finds it, and when the pupil is ready, the teacher will appear.
Yeah.
Right. So all of
Very
a
much
sudden they're like,
Yeah.
and there's this like dude that you would never think
Yeah.
would be interested, and then they blossom.
Yeah.
You're a gardener. You're making blossoms.
Yeah, and look, we succeed a lot of the time more than we fail, but we fail too, where people leave because we couldn't get to them in time or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And
But
that's
they might be back.
heartbreaking.
They might
Yeah,
be
they
back.
may be
They
back.
might be back.
Or actually they find their own way. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
As long as you've put the seed in there.
Yeah.
I have millions of questions, but I kind of want to now that
You
we're.
haven't moved.
I haven't
from the
moved. I know
first
because this is what I was concerned about. I knew that we could just like sit and talk for hours. I want to switch it to AI a little because you love AI and you are have you heard about Tilly Norwood? Of course you have. Stop it.
No.
You don't know about Tilly Norwood.
No. Who's Tilly Norwood?
Shane, have you heard about Tilly Norwood? Stop it. Tilly
two of us.
Norwood is a completely AI actress, and Hollywood is up in arms about it because she has like a, an ex Twitter account. She's got everything. They're completely forming a whole thing. Her name is Tilly Norwood. I mean, is there a robot actress or what? Okay, is that a name or what?
Has she got acting gigs?
I think agents are now scrambling for her. I think she does have a whole movie coming out, and everybody's like, whoever represents her, they're getting very upset. She's not going to be, whatever it is.
Is she part of SAG? Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I don't know what it is. But then, at first I was really afraid, and I'm in a privileged position because I'm enjoying my podcast. I want to spend time with my family anyway. And at first I was like, oh no, this is fucked. This is and then I thought, go ahead. Make a whole movie with Tilly Norwood.
Yeah.
Let's see if we are engaged in an entire movie from stolen performances, you know what I mean? Where they like, give me a little bit of, I don't know, a little bit of Nicole Kidman in there. Let me give me a little bit, like all, great actresses. And they've created this thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, listen, if they make this movie,
Yeah.
wait, first of all, what do you think about this? And then I'll tell you what I think about
there's
this.
a couple of things and I hope your friends and I are watching this because
they
some
are.
of them are slightly sensitive. Like, it's not a stolen performance, right? A great acting performance is a human performance where somebody got in touch with themselves or spirit or divine or whatever word you want to use, and they connected with people at a human level. We created this thing called AI, right? And it is the best of us and the worst of us, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so you will weep at an AI movie, right? Because it is the best of us and the worst of us.
Okay.
And maybe not the first one, but very quickly you will. And AI shrinks will be better shrinks than us humans, right? Because it is the best of us and the worst of us in a thing. And it is like this cup, right? It is a tool. And I can drink this water and be hydrated, or I can pour it over your head and you'll get upset, right? So I can use it as
hard on my hair.
I can use it as a source of anger, or I can use it to hydrate myself. And the same with AI. It's just a tool, but it's an incredible tool. And I'm not either pro it or anti it. It's a tool. I use the tools that are there. We use AI in Cool Planet to save the world. It is going to benefit the world and help climate change better than any other technology.
AI will.
AI will. If you drive a Tesla, that's self-driving, and whether you like Elon or not, that's your opinion, right? It is a 9 out of 10 better chance that it won't kill you or kill somebody else.
I completely agree with that after seeing Waymos in LA, where I wanted to drive more like them.
Yeah, completely. And they're getting better and better. So it's coming. And the same way, if you meet somebody and they annoy you, you are choosing to be annoyed by them.
Absolutely.
It's not on them, it's on you. Similarly with AI, if you're threatened by it, you're choosing to be threatened by it, right?
See, now I've got 70 more questions that'll because I want to talk about the annoying thing, the AI thing. I think the difference between Hollywood and maybe someone like you is I don't know that the studios care about their people. Do not come
No,
for me, Warner Brothers, the
no,
way you
let's be
care about
clear.
your
They
people.
don't really care about their
They
people.
don't.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
the joke is always on sets where like if like one of us died on the set, they'd be like, let's all gather around. Let's take a moment for Ivana. Ah, she was so great. We're gonna miss her so much. Okay,
Yeah.
step over the body. The next shot is over here.
By the
You know
way,
what I mean?
did you get the shot of her dying?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Did you get it? Is it
Yeah.
okay? So that's a difference as well. I don't know. I wonder if it's going to matter because even when we did animation, even when we do computer animation, you still had real human actors doing it.
No, like this ship has sailed.
I
Like,
agree.
yeah,
Listen,
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah,
I
yeah,
know that. I know
yeah.
that. But I wonder if we're going to accept it or because I'm even noticing right now with like casting and things like that when it comes to commercials, because everyone is now beautiful.
Yeah,
Everyone can have
completely.
glow ups.
Yeah,
Everyone. So
yeah.
now no one's beautiful.
Yeah.
So now what they want is people with like kind of wrinkly teeth, a little overweight, a little like not perfect to look human,
Yeah.
because of course there's always going to
Yeah.
want to be
Yeah.
this balance.
Yeah, I think ads are gonna go completely AI. Like I don't know why anyone would spend
But they're
money.
going to make them look more human. They're going to be like, here's an ad with a kind of overweight person. And
Like an interesting thing. So us humans can do max 6 to 10 transactions per second. That's what our brain is capable of.
I mean, mine's 7, but
There you go.
I'm like 2. I'm not pretty good too. Go on.
AI can do 1 trillion transactions a second. So when we say, can it look more human? Can it look more flawed? Yeah, give it 3 seconds.
But am I really going to buy a cream for, 300 American or European dollars if a perfect robot is using it?
You won't know. You won't know that it's a robot.
wonder.
Is it?
I
Oh, you
wonder.
won't know. No, 100%.
wonder.
And if you know now, give it a month. You definitely
Yeah, I
won't
definitely know now.
Yeah,
I mean,
you won't
and I didn't at first.
Yeah.
I did. But the same thing is true of, I don't know. Because at first when people started to have a lot of Botox or like, I didn't see it. I was like, oh, wow, they look really good or whatever. Now you see it all the time, I feel like.
Yeah. You won't know with AI. The speed that it's happening. And I'm sure people listening are going, yeah, well, he's just a tech bro who don't be that lazy in your thinking. Like if you're thinking like that,
Okay.
think like this is a reality. It's a tool and it's a hell of a tool. And whether you like it or fearful of it or whatever, it's still happening. It's still happening now. So you can choose to either make the most of it and help it solve your problems, or you can choose to be afraid of it and get angry with it.
No.
As a teacher of mine says, same, right?
Okay.
It's going to happen either way. Yeah.
Norman, you're my favorite. You're one of my favorite humans in the whole world to talk to.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to Notions. Tell me, where can people find you and your beautiful things? Can people come to Unlimited? Can they come to Powers Court and visit you? Or are you all booked up? Do they need to plan for 2027?
Just go onto Google and type my name in and you'll see Norman Crowley and you'll see all our socials and all the things that we're supposed to
Everything.
have.
Yeah, you're awesome. I think you're making a world a better place.
Likewise.
Also follow Notions. Follow Notions, interact with us. So subscribe to YouTube because that's how we can make that money. Okay? Did you subscribe to Notions on YouTube?
Yes, I did everything you told me to do. Because I'm slightly afraid of you.
Really? That's
Just
so
slightly.
funny because I'm so gentle and kind. See you guys next time. Relax your shoulders. Have a great day.
Absolute.